Alright, welcome to Menu Heroes Digest. Today we have a show for you, and apologies for it being so late. Friday evening we weren't able to record because of work issues, and then Saturday I was exhausted because I walked at graduation. Technically I graduate college in August, but because I only have 2 classes left, I was allowed to walk yesterday. Are you there, Jordan?
You still there? Yeah, I was waiting for you to saying, okay, here's my co-host or something, or...
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we didn't do our usual thing.
Here's my co-host.
Yes, I am Jordan, the co-host, and first of all, congratulations, Stephen, for your graduation. Yeah, for doing what I could never do, or obviously I graduated from high school, obviously, but in terms of, I went through community college, or only the first 2 years, and life happened, and 10 years later, I am in so much debt right now, and I do wish to get myself educated. I certainly need, no one needs it more than me, but it's a matter of finding the time and the money to learn good. Oh boy, and the second thing I gotta say is this weekend, something about Friday the 13th must have extended past the Friday and went over to Saturday the 14th, which is usually a chill day, but for me, I had so much going. Well, first of all, I had to work on Saturday, which always sucks. You're working 5 days a week already, and then you're mandatory to come in on Saturday, and then you come home and you hear your parent and your grandparent arguing, and you gotta go pick up their medicine, and a bunch of drama happened, and all set and ready to start an episode of Menu Heroes Digest and get these topics talked and everything, and then...
And I'm asleep. I'm sorry.
No, this is not you. This is the curse. This is the Crystal Lake curse that has followed me around for several days now. And I'm just thankfully that things are fine right now and we're okay. I might have missed opportunity to do a... But... there'll be another Friday the 13th to do that, okay?
Yeah, and I just remembered last night it wasn't raining too bad, but it was really cloudy, and so service here was just abysmal. And when you didn't say anything earlier, I was really worried that we were having the same issue, but thankfully we're not.
And I was checking on the calendar right now, and the next Friday the 13th is going to be in January 2023. So we're starting we're starting next year with a very unlucky day. So on brand, very on brand.
On brand.
Life right now.
Well, speaking of being on brand and being terrible, let's jump into our first story.
Yes, I would have gone with something unlucky, but your segue was also really good too. So, anyway, Activision Blizzard. It's funny how a company that made a bunch of games I really like, and maybe some of you out there liked some of their games beforehand. I covered the Spider-Man, the movie, the game. That was made by Activision.
Oh, really?
And they made a bunch of other they made a bunch of other superhero games when I was growing up, and that's how I knew the name Activision. That was, one.
Oh yeah, that's
claims I gamed up a lot when I was a kid.
I forgot that Blizzard owns Activision.
Yes, Activision. Yeah, and for a while, Activision was the company that was making a bunch of Marvel superhero games, and they've obviously done other things, and more than likely, some other bad things were happening behind the scenes while all this is going on. But it's hard to process all of this stuff, and this whole story has been one giant mess after one giant mess after another. And as we found out earlier this week, or actually last week, is because this story was going to be our thing last week, but we had to push it to a side. Basically, New York City is coming in and suing Activision Blizzard because they ain't got enough lawsuits already. So anyway, basically, the newest lawsuit coming from New York City alleges that longtime CEO Bobby Kotick raced to find buyers for the mega publisher he had been leading for 30 years to explicitly avoid consequences for turning a blind eye to claims of widespread instances of harassment and the company. So all those times where he and other executives were saying, "Oh, I just didn't know that was happening," or it was those guys doing it, not me. I'm just CEO guy. I can't maintain my my executives and my dev teams and what they're doing. I mean, what do you want from me? But or at least what this lawsuit is claiming that. He knew, and he was trying to find somebody to get him out of the fire before the stuff hit the fan. And said here, yeah. And basically, recap of, for those of you still unaware, hadn't followed up, last summer, the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing filed suit against the publisher, alleging a deep-seated culture of abuse, harassment, discrimination, accounts which were further detailed in a series of press investigations, and one of those being like the instance of exposing the so-called Cosby Suite in BlizzardCon, which got its name not through topical jokes from the 70s and 80s, but from a certain comedian's tendency to, or his fair share of counts of.
His habit of putting
harassment
something in the pudding.
In the dirtiest way you can imagine. But point being, as I said, it's I'm trying to get something to more recently. So, as I said, last September, the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission filed suit against the company. Through that was settled for $18 million. In March, one unnamed woman sued the publisher, claiming she had retaliated against for reporting sexual harassment to its HR department. The company is also facing down a class action suit. I said this latest one coming from New York City. Was filed by employees. Yeah, live from New York is the Employees Retirement System in Delaware court. Essentially. Stipulating that Activision Blizzard opened up its books and proved that the industry-shaking deal wasn't designed to provide cover for Kotick. As said here, and in February, the DFEH subpoenaed the Los Angeles Police Department for any potential criminal records from Kotick's, and as noted in Axios, New York City has pushed Activision Blizzard for access to these documents for months. And a quote right here from the plaintiffs, right here. With the announced merger, Kotick will be able to escape liability and accountability entirely, and will instead continue to serve as an executive after the merger closes. Worse, despite his potential liability for breaches of again, this word, FIDUCIARY. I've always had a difficult time saying that word. So anyway, of the duties that the company's board allow Kotick himself to negotiate the transaction with Microsoft, the board's decision to entrust Kotick with the negotiation process is inexcusable for the additional reason that Kotick stands to personally receive substantial material benefits whose value is not directly aligned with the merger price. And again, this to me is not shocking one single bit, because it's like You Google the guy's name. It's bad news. It's just bad news. So the idea that Microsoft they would consider buying Activision and Blizzard to get plenty of that sweet IP, but why? In any multiverse would they consider having the guy who is infamous for being tied into all this crazy nonsense? Would they still keep him around? That never made sense until you think about it this way, in which he was the one who personally crafted a deal to make sure, hey, I'll let you take control of the company, but you better keep me around, you better protect me, and I said, this is all allegedly. This hasn't been fully proven in court, but as I said, right now, again, that New York department is filing a lawsuit, and they must have at least a somewhat reasonable case, or at least a somewhat substantial case, in order to push this through or try and get this through the courts.
Yeah, that sounds like a reasonable assumption. Typically, if they don't have anything, they won't bother trying to take it to court, because it's just a waste of time and money for everyone involved. Although sometimes, that is the goal.
Or sometimes they'll do like a smaller court and have it be settled for millions of dollars, which, he's still got the money, despite everything, he still has millions, and I said, again, unless one of these lawsuits stick and they can really do severe damage to his financial gains, he's probably going to be retiring on an island somewhere if nothing changes. That to me is always the worst part of all. It's always terrible when any employee goes through all this harassment or all this terrible abuse from the company, but it hurts. It adds more salt to the wound when the CEOs and the executives responsible for allowing this to go through, or just turn a blind eye, just find a way to get out relatively easy and live their best life in some other country or some coast somewhere.
Yeah. It's not fair, to put it nicely. It's messed up.
I can think of other ways to say it, but obviously this is a family show.
Yes.
So I will keep it PG. Soft PG-13.
Oh wait, PG-13. All right. It's a load of shit. That's the only one we can say.
Okay.
Marvel can do it. We can do it once.
Yeah. I'll allow it.
Speaking of which, quick aside, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse, that was pushing its PG-13 rating. It was pushing it there.
I mean,
some of the special effects,
you
slow it down. If it had been more clear, it would not have been a PG-13 rating. I'm not going to say but I think you know what I'm talking about.
Well, it kind of reminds me of PG movies in the 80s, where if you watch a movie that's rated PG but was made in 85 or 86, you're wondering how, you start to think wow, they got away with a lot of stuff back in the day. A lot of violence in 80s cinema. I'm pretty sure there was a couple swear words back then as well, but yep. That's Sam Raimi taking it back to the 80s.
Alright, so, moving on to our next story. And you can hear me alright, right, Jordan?
Yes.
Cool.
I can hear you just fine, yes.
Alrighty. So, next up, we've got EA, everyone's other favorite company to hate. So, EA, if you didn't know, is in charge of FIFA. Well, the FIFA games. FIFA, in case you also didn't know, is soccer's international governing body. So, EA will release the next game as EA Sports FC. Let's see. The name change won't go into effect until next year, so EA can still publish FIFA 23, which is coming out this year, if anyone even cares. So, negotiations between EA and FIFA fell apart because EA wanted to expand their license into areas like NFTs. FIFA wanted to retain more control so it could partner with other companies. Yep.
I know. I didn't mean to interrupt, but it just
NFTs.
We're hitting all the classics here at Menu Heroes Digest. We got Activision Blizzard drama, lawsuits, and all that, and NFTs and video games. Right as the week that cryptocurrency is heading a downward spiral.
Oh yes, it's great.
It's kind of poetic.
So it's funny because after EA made this announcement, FIFA was like, I can assure you that the only authentic, real game that has the FIFA name will be the best one available for gamers and football fans. This wasn't an actual press release. It reminds me of Trump when he's like, "It's the greatest."
Yeah, things did not go well for Konami when they did their FIFA-esque or international football game last year. That made the list of some of the worst games of last year. So
yeah,
EA again, it's like if it's EA just doing their own thing without any sort of governing body to look after them, they're gonna rush this out, and it's just gonna be something maybe not as bad as the Konami FIFA game, but somewhere close because
it's not gonna be great.
Yeah, no.
Mm-hmm. All right, so our next story.
And again, this isn't.
Go on.
Oh, I just want to mention one thing. So, like, this is the trouble with. Again, the entire idea of putting NFTs in video games is a terrible idea. Always will be a terrible idea. But like, this shows you just with this news coming out, with the news coming out of like NFTs and cryptocurrency heading on a downward spiral, and also this news of EA desperately wanting to put NFTs in their sports games. It just shows you like how out of touch some of these executives are, and how unfortunately the wheels they can't just make a hard turn out of it. Now everything's in motion, and they're kind of stuck with this whole thing for a while, and it's not going to work out. And it's going to cause massive losses. So expect that in the near future.
The Great Ape Escape.
Well, yeah, those apes will escape, and don't ever expect them to come back.
So our next story is about Gotham Knights. So this is a game that is featuring the Bat family. It's being developed by Warner Brothers Game Montreal, and they recently showed some gameplay for Nightwing and Red Hood. Now, I didn't watch the gameplay footage because it was like 13 minutes and I just didn't have time. But this is supposedly going to be an action RPG where Batman is dead. So, playable characters are Batgirl, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Robin. So, some things you'll do is, it said, the synopsis is, a new expansive criminal underworld has swept the streets of Gotham City. From solving mysteries that connect the darkest chapters in the city's history to defeating notorious villains in epic confrontations, you must evolve into the new Dark Knight and save the streets from descent into chaos. Gotham Knights is an open-world action RPG set in the most dynamic and interactive Gotham City yet. In either solo play or with one other hero, patrol Gotham's 5 distinct boroughs and drop in on criminal activity wherever you find it. Now, I gotta be honest, this does sound interesting to me, and it is something that I'd be willing to play. And it's a good thing I don't have an Xbox anymore, because I wouldn't be able to play it on my Xbox One. The PS4 and Xbox One versions that were previously announced have been cancelled because Warner Brothers wants to provide players with, quote, the best possible gameplay experience.
Okay, so speaking as somebody who has seen a 13-minute video, basically, as I said, if I had not known that Rockstar, or Rocksteady, I should say, was not involved in this, I would have been fooled. I actually legitimately think that the gameplay, a lot of feel and movement of both Nightwing and Red Hood feels like they would have been in the Batman Arkham games, because this is supposed to be in that continuity. Because, granted, it's been a long time since I played this, but at the ending of Batman Arkham Knights, spoiler warning, folks, though you've had plenty of time to look this up or play the game, Batman dies in that and leaves a message to like the surviving members of the Bat family. Dick Grayson, Jason Todd, is Barbara Gordon?
I think
I
so.
couldn't remember if Barbara Gordon also died in that game, or they had another Batgirl. But also, pretty sure Damian Wayne's in this universe too. But point being, we just saw footage of Nightwing and Red Hood, and I gotta say, because I've seen plenty of people online do give harsher criticisms of this, of the looks wise, and some of the movements and everything. I'm not personally against like the glider, the flying trapeze as a concept, but it's kind of weird that like you would have thought that would have had Nightwing be somewhat Spider-Man-esque. Obviously, you can't. Obviously, I think it'd be a bad idea just to have Nightwing be Spider-Man, but he is meant to be super acrobatic, and he has like grappling hooks, and he's got batons that can shoot grappling hooks as well. You would have thought they would have implemented something like that for Nightwing, but I guess since since it's Dick Grayson, he has the longest connection to Bruce Wayne. We gotta give him a glider of some kind, since since Dick Grayson has been Batman before when Bruce Wayne wasn't around, so he's got to have something. But you can't just give him wings. No, you can't give Nightwing wings. He's got to have a glider of some kind. He's got to have whatever. I think the design. Again, I think the costume. Again, I like Dick Grayson. I like Nightwing, so I'm talking a lot about him right now, because Red Hood, Jason Todd, he was never my favorite. I'm glad he's a lot of people's favorites. I'm glad he has grown to be a beloved character. That's cool. I just never saw the appeal. Okay? and this is... Okay, I'll talk about Red Hood a little bit in a minute, but I think the actual outfit of Nightwing, I think, overall is good. It's a little weird. He has like a blue V on the front of his suit, but not on the back. I've always thought there should be both a blue V on both sides of the outfit, but whatever. Okay. When he's not in the costume, Dick Grayson does have long hair, and it's not quite emo Peter Parker-esque, but it almost has that energy. But like when there is some cutscenes they show of him, show up on his face, he looks like he has a mullet, like from the 90s.
What?
So I'm just, I think at the idea of like, since he has bangs in the cutscenes when he's not in the suit, he's got like the parted thing. So I'm guessing that when he's in his suit, he pulls his hair back, and it stays that way, throughout when he's being Nightwing. But it looks like he has a mullet. So that just really caught me off guard. I was just like, what is going on with his hair? With Dick Grayson's hair here? Yeah. Yeah, man, and as for Red Hood, like, yeah, again, fine, you know, this shooty gun, got two guns thing, and also apparently he can use soul energy, because like he jumps off a roof and can double jump with soul bounce or whatever. Look, DC and Marvel, they do weird things. They have their weird rules of who can or cannot use energy. And, okay, I'm sure at some point, because they have done a Red Hood comic with the Outlaws a few years ago, so maybe he could do that. Maybe it's something he's been doing for a while, but just, again, I was just watching that trailer being like, what? He can just use soul energy now? Red Hood Jason can just do that now? What? Like that really, again, it's just, so it's more like, so again, I have been writing scripts for Batman games, for reviews on Batman games, so it's not like I'm a newbie. It's not like I am completely inexperienced with Batman lore, but even some of the things they were showing, I was like, did I miss some issues? Did I miss something here? Oh man, I feel kind of on a loop here, you know, and that may be true, but as I said, I think in general, I think this could be a real fun game. So far, as I think the last footage, because like this game and the Suicide Squad game are the two coming out from Warner Brothers games that are DC related. They have announced a Wonder Woman game, but there's been no news yet of like what's going to be like or what the gameplay is going to be like or when it's going to come out. So yeah, all eyes are on Gotham Knights and Suicide Squad right now, and hopefully it's good, but I'm not as enthusiastic as I was when the Batman Arkham games were coming out, is my general thoughts.
Okay. I have never played the Arkham Knights games.
Well, you should.
That's the feel that I've gotten.
Yeah. Honestly, you can. Yeah, I don't pressure. I try not to pressure anybody into doing stuff anymore. But again, in terms of like a game that perfectly captures Batman and what, you know, how you're supposed to play as Batman, I think the first two Arkham games do that very well. Arkham Knights, that's my least favorite of the three, but I'd say at least give that a try.
Okay. So, moving on from Batman, we've got to talk about the Switch. So the Switch is outselling every other console. You know,
Yep.
Outselling the PS5, which is obvious because you can't find that anywhere, and the Xbox Series XS, which you actually still can't find. And this is all despite a chip shortage in the world.
Well, a chip shortage mainly because you had people trying to mine crypto and trying to get into the NFT craze. So again, another reason why I am happy, I am elated those two markets are going downhill.
Anyway, so this fiscal year, if I can find it, which started last April, the company sold 23 million Switch consoles. Now this includes the standard Switch, the handheld only Lite, and the OLED model. So it was the goal originally was 25.5 million. Then they reduced that to 24 million, and then in February it was reduced to 23. So to date, the Switch has sold 107 million units, which is more than the Wii, but less than the DS. The Wii sold 101 million. the Nintendo DS sold 154 million. Their next sales forecast is 21 million units for the fiscal year of 2023. Now, by the end of 2021, Microsoft... go ahead.
No, I was going to say, at first I thought it was a little weird to compare. I mean, like, seeing... it's usually the handheld game systems do extremely well. So it didn't surprise me that the Nintendo DS did that well, but I don't know. It's just like it was first confusing to see the Nintendo Switch being compared to that, but obviously most people that I know, and including me, are not hooked up to a TV when playing a Nintendo Switch, so it makes sense in a way.
Well, the reason they compared those two was because those are Nintendo's two top, highest selling consoles of all time.
I understand, I get you.
So when you look at it from that, it makes sense. But I get where you're coming from. Where it's like, hey, the Wii and the DS, those aren't relevant. Why'd they mention that? I get that.
Well, the Wii, yes, because you gotta hook up the TV to a Wii. You gotta hook your Wii to a TV.
Yeah. But yeah, it's outsold the Wii, but not the DS. By the end of 2021, Microsoft had sold about 12 million of their Xbox Series consoles. And the PS5 has sold around 17 million. Of course, a lot of that is due to the unavailability of these consoles. I mean, I'd have a PS5 right now if it was available. But every time I have money, it's out of stock.
Yeah. Yeah.
Any other thoughts on this story before we move on?
I kind of felt like this one was a rather short one.
Okay.
Just, hey, if you're invested in Nintendo, you're still doing good. That's my motto. But we have another Nintendo story we're coming up with.
I'll let you cover it.
Okay. All right. So basically, Mario Kart 8. No doubt everyone knows of this game and has a lot of fun. We've done a few Mario Kart videos here on the channel, and you've even seen me on there. Yeah, if you watch it. What do you watch? Anyway.
Go watch.
So anyway, yes, please go watch. So, anywho, there is no question the massive success of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, with its almost close to selling 10 million copies over the past year. And the hype and attention for not only just for updates for Mario Kart 8, but also the hope of when can we see a Mario Kart 9 coming in. And certainly people here on this channel suspected there would be news of a Mario Kart 9 coming up. But according to Nintendo, they may not need to make a Mario Kart 9 if the sales for Mario Kart 8 are still extremely well. Right here, the Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out in 2017. Marley's burst up version of a game that launched alongside the printed press is still putting up numbers that come within the spitting distance of Pokemon, just a massive blockbuster all of its own right. And for Nintendo's fiscal year of 2022, which ran from last April through the end of March, Pokemon is the only series whose game outsold Kart. And Pokemon Legends Arceus, a spin-off for the mainland series that came out in January, sold 12.6 million copies. November's Pokemon Brilliant Dinosaur. Oh, yeah, okay. The remix, they did very well with 14.6 million. But also, we should point out that Pokemon fans buy both versions of those games, not just one, for just easier to get all the Pokemon that way.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Party Superstars, that one, did very well. 7 million copies, way more than most. And last year's Animal Crossing, actually 2 years ago, Animal Crossing New Horizons sold roughly 6 million. Nintendo has demonstrated an impressive ability to squeeze. Sorry, the article said squeeze blood from Mario Kart 8 stuff. I just now realized what he was saying, but it said everybody's asking, where is Mario Kart 9? Or what's happening to Mario Kart 9? And all Nintendo said, we got a booster coming pack. It's coming soon, and new downloadable content for Mario Kart 8.
Needs to come sooner.
I know. I need. We're all still like, oh man, there's way more courses that we're all waiting for that they announced.
It's just a shame that it doesn't feel like they put passion into remaking the courses, if I'm being honest.
I mean, at least they're there.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I'm the kind of person that is better than nothing, but obviously I do understand what you're saying. It's like,
I mean, Mario Kart Tour, like, their Coconut Mall feels like it's got more, they put more effort into it. But
definitely, yeah.
It is what it is. It doesn't cost much. I already have the expansion pass for Nintendo Online, so, I can't complain too much.
Yeah, sorry. I was kind of looking. I could have sworn there was somewhere in the article of some executive at Nintendo saying like things are really good with Mario Kart 8. It keeps pushing back the Mario Kart 9 demand or anything. But no, couldn't find that quote or anything. But,
I don't think somebody at the company said that. I think that was just what people are thinking.
Okay. All right. Well, my bad.
But they're not wrong.
I mean, again, if I was over at Nintendo and I was seeing the numbers for Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, I'd be thinking like, how much longer can we milk this? Can we go on for another 2-3 years before Mario Kart 9? Yeah. And I mean, at this point, I think they might actually just put Pokemon as like playable characters in this game. Might as well.
But yeah, Mario Kart 8 has been out since the Wii U.
Yep.
And it was released in 2014. That's 8 years, my dudes.
Yes. And, oh man. 2013 was 9 years ago. That's insane to me.
Yeah, time is passing by really fast.
It really is, man. I won't get into it too much, but I briefly was on Facebook, just giving a quick glance. I don't do that too often, but I did see one of my classmates from back in high school, which was, again, over 10 years ago, pushing 15. And one of my classmates said that their younger brother had finally graduated from college.
Oh, wow.
And I'm just like, wow. Oh, man. I am getting old, Steven. You might have to see, you'll probably see me in a wheelchair.
Oh my goodness.
Not too long from now.
Alrighty. This next story is also Jordan's covering. Woo!
Oh boy, and it's another lawsuit.
It's another lawsuit.
The guy who doesn't have a law degree is talking so much of lawsuits today. Ain't that a role reversal?
I don't have a law degree. What? I'm IT.
Didn't you study?
I took a law class, yeah. Imagine
okay,
if I
that might
was
have been why-
smart enough to get a law degree. That'd be something.
I heard you did. I heard you had classes in law, and I thought that was what you graduated for. And yeah.
Wow. No, I can't afford law school.
Oh, excuse me.
There was a time where I wanted to be a lawyer.
Well, I have no way to segue from that. So anyway, a U.S. district judge has decided that a antitrust lawsuit against Valve over how it operates and uses the Steam platform can move forward. The company suing Valve, Wolfire Games, alleges the Half-Life and Portal developer uses its digital storefront and its huge amount of control over the PC gaming market to exploit publishers and consumers. Said this was an article from Bloomberg that the U.S. District Court Judge John C. I'm gonna mess this name up. I always do. Coffenor ruled in favor of letting part of Wolfire Games lawsuit against Valve move forward with the Western District of Washington. Josh Coffenor said it was plausible that Valve used Steam's immense size and control of the market to threaten or even punish developers that try to sell games through other platforms, like the Epic Game Store or GOG.
God.
According to Judge Coffenor, Wolfires, again, yes. Anybody with a name like that, I am deeply sorry. And I'm sure there's a better way to say it, but you're stuck in here now. Wolfire's allegations that Valve uses a
Oh, you cut out a little bit. You still there, bud?
Of written and unwritten rules to enforce control over developers, influencing how games, even non-Steam enabled ones. Oh, I did?
No, you're good. You're good now.
Did you get Wolfire's allegations?
Yes, that they're using a combination.
I can hear you.
Written and unwritten rules to enforce
Mouth's right on the microphone. I'm here, my dude.
Oh my god.
I'm still standing. Okay. I was. All right. And judge feels that these allegations are sufficient to plausibly allege unlawful conduct, and this May 6th decision is a win for Wolfire, following a previous setback in the ongoing legal case against Valve and Steam platform. After filing the initial lawsuit last year in May, Wolfire's case against Valve was dismissed by the same judge in November. However, Wolfire was allowed to file another complaint about the issues noted in a dismissal and did so. Now, Wolfire's antitrust lawsuit will move forward in court. And speaking of somewhat, it is kind of interesting that I am getting more involved in Steam. I'm getting more involved in PC gaming as this is going on, and to any company that has been bullied or...
Sorry,
Hello.
The call dropped.
Okay, but what... Okay, did you get what I said?
Last I heard was you were getting involved with Steam.
Okay, so that was the last thing I was saying, other than like, hey Jordan, hey Steven, can you hear me? That was the literally last thing I said.
Last thing I heard was about you getting involved with Steam.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I mean, as I said, like, and as the article goes further, it's saying that it's not an absolute win for Wolfire. I said they had one claim being dismissed, so there's not a so this lawsuit is not a guarantee. But as I said, like they've had like one win, one loss. So like I said, they're still going on. They still have many arguments against Steam about like the how they operate two markets as a game platform and as a store, and that Valve shouldn't tie them together and everything. But doesn't Epic Games do that, or doesn't like Epic do that well? Don't they like make games and also operate a store as well?
Yeah, they do that. And they've gotten backlash for it as well. I think the bigger thing with Steam, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe it's because Steam also operates like an actual platform, like Steam OS, but I don't know. I mean, there is validity to this lawsuit. It's not a frivolous one.
Oh yeah, I agree. I just feel I think I couldn't remember if like some other company had made the same case against Epic a while back. Or
yeah,
I mean, certainly there was like that big fight with like Epic and Apple.
Yes,
those
that
companies
was.
were fighting it out for.
I think that's what you're thinking of. At least that's what I'm thinking of.
I'm thinking of that.
Alrighty. So our next story.
Yeah, that's.
Is about Ubisoft and their Avatar game. Now we're not going to spend too much time on this, but according to their earnings report, their game Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora is still set to be released before the end of March 31st, 2023. Which is incredible because, you know, we've been waiting, 15 years for the second Avatar movie? And this thing was announced in 2017. So we're still getting the new game before we get faster than we got Avatar 2. I don't even care about Avatar. What about you, Jordan? Cut out again. I'm gonna scream.
Yeah, that's it. I like the first movie. Dance with wolves, blue people, and you didn't hear any of that? I can hear you just fine, dude.
I heard you say that you enjoyed the first movie, dancing with wolves and stuff.
All right, let me try that again.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, like, the first movie I thought was pretty good. I wasn't super in love with it. Certainly there are people back then that wanted so badly to live in Pandora, but there were certainly a lot of naysayers. They were saying like, this is just Fern Gully, this is just Dancing with Wolves. This is not original, blah blah blah. And I feel like there's a lot that can be done with this world.
Oh my god.
I think sequel. The trailer they showed at the Dungeon to like give me more idea what the story is, like where we're going here from the furthering the adventure game. There's a lot to go with this, but and when they announced an Avatar game, it was 2013, wasn't it, or 2017?
2017.
Sorry. But there obviously is the concern of like, are people still interested in this franchise? And okay, 2017. Okay. So that is certainly the thought process of when it's like there was like some analysis thing saying that the trailer was released online and it reached about like 170 million views within a day, which is pretty quick for a trailer for a movie that nobody cares about. So, no, that's not what I'm saying. That's certain naysayers are saying that.
Like me.
But yeah, I am always curious about this world and these characters and what they can do from here.
All right. So we should probably speed things up a little bit, just because the internet is, oh my god, it is delaying. I'm gonna have to cut out some awkward pauses because of it. So quick shout out to Call of Duty Warzone for bringing Godzilla and King Kong to it. Woo, go Call of Duty.
Oh, I wanted to talk a little bit more about this, but I understand we don't have a lot of time. But yeah, man, why couldn't you just make a Godzilla and King Kong game with like certain missions involving humans just on the ground and everything? Why does it have to be Call of Duty and just insert Godzilla in the background? Like, I want a Godzilla game, I want a King Kong game, and it'd be cool to have both. But like, why do they have to just insert into a Call of Duty game, a franchise I never really cared about?
I'm surprised there's not a kaiju fighting game like Smash Brothers.
Exactly. There should Warner Brothers, you have Primal Rage. That was a very high-selling giant monster fighting game back in the 90s. Nobody's done anything with that franchise. People still love giant monsters. You have a library of giant monsters at your disposal, not just with Godzilla and King Kong, but all the monsters associated with them, and whatever giant monster sci-fi thing from back in the 50s or 60s you got. You could throw them in, and we'll have a fun, cool time seeing them all fight each other. Please, I'll give you money. You just gotta give me a reason to give you money.
Alright, and as y'all know, we recently had the Nintendo Indie World Showcase. Now, we're not going to go over every single game because there's just too much, and the internet's not gonna handle all that. So I'm going to go over real quick what I am interested in, and then I'll let Jordan do the same. So, Ooblets. That looks kind of cute. It's got like the art style of the Untitled Goose Game, so that caught my attention. Cult of the Lamb seems interesting. I know my friend Dion is really excited for One Shot on the Switch, and I've heard good things about it, so I'll give it a try when it comes out. And then Xander is excited about Totally Accurate Battle Simulator coming out. It's funny because not even a week ago, he was telling me about it. He was like, "Have you ever heard of Tabs?" And he's like, "I wonder if Tabs is on the Switch." And then he's like, "Oh, I wonder if Tabs is on my phone." And he finds all these knockoffs, and he's like, "Oh, hey, here it is." I'm like, "That's not it, buddy." So he's excited. I'm gonna get it for him when it comes out, and he doesn't have to wait too long. It's coming out this summer.
All right.
Your turn, Jordan.
Yeah. Okay. I will say yes. Totally Accurate Battle Simulator sounds real fun. Anything with googly eyes, I am all for. Speaking of which, Everything Everywhere All at Once. If anybody can get a chance to see that movie, it's amazing. There's plenty of googly eyes, and I won't spoil anything else. But I'd say the game that really got my attention was Elekhead. It's like a puzzle platformer of this robot that detaches his head to give things electricity because like the world has no electricity, and it'll open up certain places in the dungeon, but like you can also set up traps. I think that could be a fun, clever game, and I'd love to play that. I'd play that in general, but also would love to play that over the channel. And also, the art style is very similar to Mega Man, the old Mega Man games. So that got me giddy. That got me real excited. I'm predictable. The We Are OFK. Again, I think that it is rather interesting. They're talking about like it's a episodic, like you're playing a music video kind of thing. I think the art style looks really good.
Yeah, the art style does look pretty good.
Yeah, I am very much into that idea. The another Crab's Treasure game looks really good. Again, it's a Souls-like game, but you play as crabs, and I don't know. That sounds really, really charming. And the guys that are developing it, they love crabs. They got the crab gloves and everything. And I'm like, I'd love to hang out with these guys. I'd love to grab a whatever they're drinking. I'll have what they're having. Let's see here. Oh yes, Silt. That's a very creepy looking underwater game. That's like a lot of the designs have been hand drawn. They're just imprinted into the game. And I'll bring up Gunbrella briefly. It could be interesting, and it's certainly gotten a lot of buzz. But I'm not. It's like, again, it looks fun. It looks interesting. But I just personally not seeing why everyone's like, this is gonna be great. This looks fantastic. This could be one. This could blow up. This could be the next Undertale villain.
What?
Maybe, but it's like I don't think, like in terms of a indie game that blows up in popularity is what some people are saying. Not like, this is gonna have the same level of storytelling as Undertale, but again, if it does, okay, but it's like, I don't know. It's like I'd like to check it out, but I'm not super like I've gotta play this as soon as possible. Like
it's like I'll get to it when I get to it.
Do with Elec Head. That's my mood. That's kind of my mood to it. And there's one game I should mention this. Wayward Strand. That one, it seems charming. That one seems kind of cute, but I feel like that game's gonna have a very dark twist, or have a really sad, bleak ending, because it's about a hospital in the sky.
Oh yeah.
In the 1970s. And
that one did seem interesting.
Again, it's like it seems cute and charming, but I'm getting tingles in the back of my head, just like this is gonna have a dark ending, isn't it?
Well, you know what that means. Well. You gotta play it before everyone else does, so that it doesn't get spoiled.
Yes. Right. So again, I'd rather play that than Gunbrella.
Yeah, Gunbrella.
No offense to anybody making.
Doesn't seem. I didn't feel excited by it, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a bad game. It just means it's not for me.
Yeah. Again, no offense to anybody, any development teams making these games that we haven't said or aren't as interested. I'm sure these people have put a lot of time and effort, and they might blow up. They might become cult favorites. You never know. But I said we're just talking about the things that caught our attention.
To everyone who makes games, you guys blow my mind. I would love to make a video game. I just am not in a mental state where I can.
Yeah.
Where I know how. So the work people put into making games is, even if I don't like your game, congratulations. Good job. You've made something. You've put something out into the world, and I think that's one of the coolest things you can do.
Yeah, and even if the game doesn't end up being good, you still made something. Don't ever think that's an accomplishment. I won't spend too much on this, but for some reason I'm spending a lot of time looking up this game called Brutal Paws of Fury. It's an old 90s fighting game of just it's furries. It's a bunch of like anthropomorphic characters that are on this island in a tournament. The game itself is not good. There are plenty of reviews saying the game's not good, but the thing is, there actually is like certain designs of characters are interesting, and it's like this game. Obviously, like people put some effort into at least some of the backgrounds, into some of the character backstory, and into like, oh, if you like playing this character, this is what speaks about you, and it gives you like a list of statistics of like, this is how many times you punched, this is how many times you kicked, and this is what kind of moves you did and everything. It's like, again, I kind of respect, I kind of respect the team that made this kind of game. Even though it's not a good game, it's like you can't deny effort was put into this, and again, this was like early '90s, so there wasn't a whole lot of CGI or anything, but there was like certain animations for some characters, at least for the very beginning, and especially I think for like the Sega CD version, there was a little more animation, so you could tell they at least put effort in that, and again, just as I said, by all means, just making something, even though it doesn't turn well, that is an accomplishment, and don't ever sell yourself short.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for watching, and as always, stay cool.
Yep. Yes, and we are sorry for the delay. We are sorry for all the technical issues. And right now I can hear my grandma yelling in the background, so we're going to end it here. So Have a good one, guys.
And yeah, we'll be doing in person soon.
I would have tried to